Hey, hi, it's Derrik Jordan. Welcome to the World Fusion Show, where we bring you the leading innovators in world fusion music. Today, my guests, I have two guests today. We have Cafe de Silva and Yaniel Matos. Cafe is a singer, composer, percussionist from Brazil, and lives in the United States now for many years. And Yaniel was born in Cuba and raised there, but is living now in Sao Paulo. And We'll get into that later on in the show. And I'm really looking forward to playing music with you guys later on in the show today. So welcome, Cafe and Yaniel, to the World Fusion Show.
It's very nice to see you again, my brother.
Yes. So Cafe and I go back a little bit because we actually worked together in New York City 25 years ago, and we wrote a song together. And just recently, I went back to my notes and I found the lyric to the song.
Alchemy.
Right? I found the lyric, a song called Alchemy, but I couldn't remember the melody and I couldn't remember the chords and I couldn't find the chords. But I called Cafe and Cafe said, hey, I remember the melody. I was like, you're kidding
right
me.
here on my computer.
25 years later, he still remembers the melody. So after the show today, we're going to go back to my studio and try to recreate the song again. So I'm really excited about that. Anyway, Cafe, tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get started in music?
But it's like any kid in Brazil, anybody in Brazil or in South America play an instrument. So my real start was in my mom's furniture. My mom's pen, all the pens I broke down, the glasses, always playing. We have a big furniture. We put a coat. I broke the bottle over there. It was a loaf. Boom, boom, boom. My dad, who's breaking this stuff? I don't know. So that was really my beginning. And then after that, I started making drums, with a box, with pens, sounds, ting, bells. Aí se foi por aí.
Everything is an instrument when you're a percussionist. Yes.
That's right. And my father was a guitar player and a singer, songwriter.
He was.
He didn't want me to be another musician.
Because he knew how hard it is.
I always asked him for him, put him in the school of music. No, another musician.
Yeah.
So I ended being a soccer player. I ended up being in the military for 5 years, but I always play music. Writing songs in the military. So I did for my dad this 5 years, and at the end, my 14, 12 years, I started making groups with friends, guitar. Minha primeira conga, uma LP vieja, assim, bem negrona, and from there I always try to learn a little bit of guitar. Everybody played guitar in Brazil, a little bit.
Everyone.
So my first contact with school was after my 18. I have this friend who was a bass player, and Murici, I think he passed away. And he used to be a double bass for the symphonic orchestra. And he invited me to go, Cafe, let's go to the symphonic, and you sit down and you learn. So I stayed there for a year and a half learning all the Beethoven stuff. But my real passion was drums. So
drumming.
I go to
let's go to the video and we can see you talk about drumming and what it means to you and your philosophy.
And just a point, my real start was playing for the Orishas. I left the school to go play congas for the candomblé, for the umbanda.
Right. Good. All right. Great.
I chose to be a drummer, and to be a drummer, I'm also an educator, a spiritual being, a matter being, because I live in matter, but with the purpose to raise up and my contribution is to play drum until I finish my time on this planet and then continue to the next level. Work for the positive energy of the universe. If you replace a human being work, a musician, to a drum machine, that start with the negative side of the technology. It's different vibes. It's like a skin and a plastic. I can call the spirituals with this drum, a wood, a skin, and my spirituality. But I cannot call a spirit with a plastic, because they don't hear, they don't understand. It's a vibration. This is a natural vibration. I hope we learn one of these days. It's going to be much better for each one of us.
Yeah, that's right. Better for all of us. So, you're Brazilian. You grew up there.
Right.
Very strong Brazilian feeling.
Good.
But you've also worked with many other musicians.
Yes.
So, since this is the World Fusion Show, tell us a little bit about other people and other cultures you've
All
worked
right. So I left Brazil after recording in New York with Djavan. And then we did back home. Djavan want to take a break. If make an album called Loose with Stevie Wonder, musicians, all the great American musicians. And after that, back there, he stopped. Simone was having a tour and invited me to go to Japan. Mm-hmm. So we stayed 3 months in Japan, world tour. Back in LA, I have this friend, Paulinho da Costa, amigo cubano também, que era um momento agora, se esqueci pouco, sorry. Now I forget, but no, Luis Conte. The memory is good. So, and was this guy that's a flute player living in Los Angeles. He's from Brazil. Felipe have a friendship with Roberto Fleck. And he called Roberta, the percussionist of Djavan is here, Café. And she said, wow, he's here. Ask for him to give me an audition. So I'd go play for her, and I stayed with her for 10 years. My first gig, I never back in Brazil in my first 10 years. And then Mr. Herbie Man was the best musician who worked with. And then, all these great people, Rain Brecker, Bob Mintzer, Duduca da Fonseca, Romero Lubambo, oh my God, there's so many people.
So many.
Gato Barbieri.
Gato, yeah. I want to...
Stevie Winwood is the last
Stevie
gig.
Winwood's great. Amazing.
I
so I want people to hear one of your songs from one of your CDs.
Wonderful.
So can we go to that now?
Please.
Let's listen to Fusemba. This is an original song by Café.
Thank you.
Quem vai recuperar este amor perdido, este peito sofrido? Quem vai amenizar a dor? Quem vai recuperar este amor perdido, este peito sofrido? Quem vai amenizar a dor?
Yeah, nice song.
Yeah, that piece is, I have the pleasure to read down my co-writer, was Carlinhos Pandeiro de Ouro, one of the best Brazilian percussion and dancer.
Nice.
So Carlinhos, thank you. We
yeah.
have to do more.
Yes. So I'd like to turn now to Yaniel and just get to our audience to get to know a little bit about you. So you were born in Cuba.
Yes.
Yes. But you live now in Brazil. What got you interested in the music of Brazil?
My grandfather was musician. We play in the night Compay Segundo, Buenavista, no? The children, when those children. In Cuba, in the television, program of the Brazil, every year, every time.
That's beautiful.
I listen the music, Brazil music. I study music of. I had 8 years. Comencé con 8 años.
Start with 8 years playing beautiful cello. He's a cellist.
The music, Brazilian music, is very good for me. I in Cuba played with Isaac Delgado, Orlando Maraca, and in tour I arrived in Sao Paulo. Oh wow, good. Brazil.
Yeah.
He's there for 15 years.
Long time.
Yes,
He's
yes.
a Brazilian.
Yes.
Now, yeah.
It's same with me from kid because I always looking at Cuba.
Right.
I very like of people, Brazilian people, coach Brazilian.
culture.
Yes,
Yes,
it's
very nice.
incredible.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So you play piano and cello.
Yes, in Cuba.
That's really great. And
Percusión también.
we'll hear some of that later on in the end of the show.
I studied the Russian influence in the learning.
Cuban culture, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I children.
He was a little kid.
Piano and cello, piano and cello, piano and cello. Teacher Russian.
A Russian
The
teacher.
Russian style.
Yeah, interesting. It's classical music
Yes,
type
yes.
thing. Yeah.
But he's very glad to have that.
So yeah, of course, yes. I would like to go to this video of you playing the cello and singing with my friend Stephen Katz.
Oh, Stephen Katz.
So let's go and watch that right now.
Good.
Los amores que sobraron a contar se recrean en mi mente cuando pienso que no estás. Hoy tus manos se despiden al pasar de la vida que jugaba a las guerras en el mar. Oh, Habana, me despido con un beso y te invito a pasear. Oh, Habana, me despido con un beso y te invito a pasear. Yeah, no, no, na, na, yeah, no. Los amores.
Hey, you're back. Good. Beautiful stuff.
I love
So
that song.
it's very sweet. So tell me now, what kind of projects, new things coming up for the future that you're working on?
¿Cuál las cosas novas que tú estás haciendo, participando?
Well, now my new CD now salió this month en este mes.
This man is releasing.
Releasing,
Brazil.
yeah.
Is it releasing? Brazil?
Que pueden encontrar
Can be found on the
in the iTunes,
iTunes,
yes,
digital. Yeah.
Carabalí, the name. Last, La Mirada, CD La Mirada. Dia 13 y 14.
13, 14. And 14, 15 this month.
I will play in Sao Paulo with orchestra and cello.
Cello with
Cello.
orchestra.
I written 2 pieces
Oh,
for
nice.
cello orchestra.
That's beautiful.
Filarmónica Afro.
Yeah, nice.
Y cello and orchestra and piano orchestra.
Yes, I do that too. I write for orchestra.
Yes.
And it's really nice to bring the different musicians together, different styles together.
It's very good to bring musicians together because he also is a
En
arranger.
português.
Perdão. É muito fantástico poder
Yes.
ser arreglo.
Yes.
Ele
I
também é arranjador.
I study in Cuba composition with Leo Brauer.
Yes.
Yes, he was my teacher.
Nice.
I love reading music.
Very good.
Always.
So I'd love to go right now. We're running out of time. I'd love to go to hear you play some piano in this next clip. Can we do that? Great stuff. Beautiful. So I want to thank you guys so much
We are very grateful.
for coming on Cafe de Silva and Yaniel Matos. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for you.
Blessings. Thank you.
We're gonna wrap up the
grateful.
show now, as usual, with some live in the studio playing improvisation with my guests. Just want to say, this is Derrik Jordan. Thank you so much for joining us today on the World Fusion Show. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And remember, think globally, listen locally, and support independent music.
viva botado sai veto mai no total viva botado sai no
Thank you.